Hey guys, welcome back to Slam Dunk Central. Today we'll talk about 5 NBA players who were drug addicts. Let's head into it. Number 5. William Bedford. Drafted 6th overall by the Phoenix Suns in 1986. Career averages 4.1 points, 2.4 rebounds. Best season 1986-87. Phoenix Suns 6.7 points, 4.9 rebounds per game. Bedford, one of the best players in Memphis basketball history when he got drafted by the Suns with a 6th overall pick. However, that wasn't the case. Bedford played just one season for the Suns before getting traded to the Pistons just a little more than a year later. He played 4 seasons with the Pistons and was consequently dealt to the Clippers in June 1992. He was traded to the Bullets almost 4 months later, and he was waived just 4 days after that. Bedford didn't play a single game for the Clippers or Bullets. The 7-footer would then sign with the Spurs and played just 16 games. Bedford was waived after the season and failed to sign with another team. His 6-year career was a disappointment, and Bedford was a heavy drug user and never reached his full potential. Thought to be one of the greats, he became quite the opposite after a less than stellar NBA career. Number 4. Roy Tarpley. Drafted 7th overall by the Dallas Mavericks in 1986. Career averages 12.6 points, 10 rebounds, 1.2 blocks. Best season 1990-91. Dallas Mavericks 20.4 points, 11 rebounds, 1.8 blocks per game. Like Bedford, Tarpley was expected to be the next great, but things just didn't pan out. Tarpley was a star at the University of Michigan and was taken with the famous drug-induced 1986 NBA draft. Immediately thrust into the rotation, Tarpley averaged 7.5 points and 4.7 rebounds during his rookie season. He would soon get better and would average a double-double each of the next 4 seasons. His best season came during the 1990-91 year after averaged more than 20 points and 11 rebounds per game. However, his career would be cut short after he was banned from the NBA for substance abuse problems prior to the 1991-92 season. Tarpley returned to the Mavericks for the 1994-95 season for just 55 games, including 1 start. He was permanently banned from the NBA in December 1995 for violating the substance abuse program again and for violating the terms of a court-imposed personal aftercare program. Who knows what could have been? Number 3. Chris Washburn. Drafted 3rd overall by the Phoenix Suns in 1986. Career averages 3.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, and 0.3 assists. Best season 1986-87 with the Warriors. 3.8 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 0.5 assists per game. Taken with a 3rd overall selection, and like a few players in the 1986 draft, Washburn was expected to be a great player. At the time of Washburn being drafted, the Warriors brought in Joe Barry Carroll to help mentor the former North Carolina State player, but it didn't go the way they planned. Washburn was hardly effective during his rookie season, which was interrupted after the forward checked himself into rehabilitation on January 28, 1987. He admitted to staff members that he had a cocaine problem. Washburn returned to the Warriors in late March, but still played poorly. He was then dealt to the Atlanta Hawks that December and still couldn't get things rolling. Washburn would fail to catch on with another team, and his thought to be great career spanned just 2 seasons. Number 2. Michael Ray Richardson. Drafted 4th overall by the New York Knicks in 1978. Career averages 14.8 points, 7 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.6 steals. Best season 1984-85 with the Nets. 20.1 points, 8.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. Thought to be the next Walt Frazier, Richardson didn't quite live up to that sort of hype. With the Knicks, Richardson made the All-Star team 3 straight times. He was dealt to the Warriors at the beginning of the 1982-83 season. He lasted just 33 games with the Warriors before being traded to the Nets. Richardson played 4 quality seasons with New Jersey, even averaging double digits in points for all 4. He also led the league in steals in the 1984-85 season, perhaps the best season of his career. In 1986, NBA Commissioner David Stern banned Richardson from the NBA for life after 3 failed drug tests. He would be given a second chance in 1988, but was kicked out of the league again for 2 more failed drug tests for cocaine. Richardson did and still disputes the results. Richardson was also known for what he said about his suspensions. He exclaimed that the suspensions were unfair because they were racially based. He insisted that Chris Mullin would have been suspended also because of his alcohol problems. However, the comments made no sense because alcohol didn't violate the substance abuse program. Richardson, although he had a solid career, could have become much more if he just stayed away. Looks like we'll never know. Number 1. Len Bias. Drafted 2nd overall by the Boston Celtics in 1986. Career averages? None. Best season? None. Perhaps the saddest story of all, Len Bias was taken with the 2nd overall selection in the famed 1986 draft. The draft was held on June 17, 1986 at Madison Square Garden in New York. The day after he was drafted, Bias and his father flew to Washington, D.C. for an NBA club draft appearance and a product endorsement signing with the Celtics coaches and management. Bias reportedly signed a $3 million contract with Nike. Bias returned to Boston later that night and immediately got his newly newly leased sports car. He returned to his room on campus, the University of Maryland. That night, it was reported by police that Baez's car was spotted in one of the city's worst drug neighborhoods. It has not been determined who was driving the car, but it has always been naturally assumed that it was Baez. The university said Baez returned somewhere around 11 p.m. as he went out to eat with some teammates and a member of the Terrapins football team. Baez returned to his dorm around 3 a.m. At 6:32 a.m., a 911 call was placed to local police, and it was reported that Baez was not breathing. Paramedics got to his dorm room just 4 minutes later, but the second overall pick never regained consciousness. He was pronounced dead at 8:55 a.m. The cause of his death was cardiac arrhythmia, commonly associated with cocaine use. Baez never played for the Celtics, and it's considered to be one of the biggest tragedies in sports. He is also known to be one of the greatest players never to play a single game at the professional level. What do you think about these NBA players? Did you know that they were drug addicts? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.